Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece Chapter 1006. When we last left our heroes, Sanji, after getting the shit beat out of him by Black Maria due to his whole can't hit a woman thing, finally calls for Robin's help, showing his faith in her, and both Robin and Brooke come to his aid, and there's this great moment where Robin thanks him for relying on her. And so the two of them are now going to fight Black Maria themselves. Meanwhile, Momonosuke, Yamato, and Shinobu make a break for it as the storage room they're hiding in is attacked by Kaido's men. And Jack is going to where the scabbards are. And Sanji is going to go meet him there to try to protect the scabbards. And yeah, that's all starting to boil over. There still is that mystery person with the scabbards we don't know much about. But yeah, let's jump right on into Chapter 1006. We have here a nice 2-page color spread, with Kaido, the headliners, and the Tobiropo all together. Some things about it that I did not figure is, for one, whose mask is red? I always figured he had a black mask, but that's certainly something interesting. There's a lot more blue in Ulti's color scheme than I imagined. But yeah, beyond that, it's just a nice, cool, villain color scheme. Color cover. So anyway, Chapter 1006, The Honorable Hyogoro the Flower. I did see on Shonen Jump's, weekly roundup of the chapters coming out, mentioning that this chapter will be focusing on Chopper trying to cure the Ice Oni plague, which I thought we were done with. Even Zoro mentioned back in 999, I think, that this whole thing, the whole Ice Oni thing, was just kind of a waste of time. But that chapter title focusing on Hyogoro, I'm not sure. I don't think Hyogoro is going to be in a good spot by the end of this chapter. Anyway, we open the performance floor Skull Dome. We see one of the Marys is watching something. They've escaped. The enemy leader, Momonosuke, has emerged from the sealed storeroom and escaped. I do not see Momonosuke anywhere, but there can be no doubt. We see Shinobu and Yamato just go into town on Kaido's men. Momonosuke is still hiding in Yamato's shirt, of course. Momonosuke is together with young Master Yamato. We see Yamato kind of breathing heavy. And someone with a heat vision scope or something, or some kind of X-ray vision or something, sees Momonosuke is on Yamato's back, actually, not in his breasts, as we all kind of assumed would be happening. And then I think that is the Mary. The Mary would have that kind of powers. He is, and we see Samurai of Wano, General Momonosuke. I'm figuring that's just kind of Kaido's own, the Beast Pirate's own terminology for him, because no one else is really calling Momo a general. And we see Momo, he looks pretty shocked. I'm not quite sure if that's his prepubescent horniness kicking in, which is certainly a phrase I don't like having to say. Or if it's just the fear of being found by Kaido's men. Anyway, Yamato calls, "This way, Shinobu!" And Shinobu calls out, "Can we choose a less visible route?" Yamato is with a Kunoichi. And then Sanji, who's on the 3rd floor, still headed towards that storeroom, listens in. Another broadcast. They're going after Momo and Shinobu. And who's young Master Yamato? Yeah, because Sanji's not met Yamato yet. And then Sanji picks up a defeated Beast Pirates member. "Hey you, which way is the sealed storeroom?" "Near the entrance to the Skull Dome." And then Sanji thinks, so that would be the opposite direction of Kinemon's group. What do you mean? The sealed storeroom is Kinemon. Oh, no, the sealed storeroom is where Yamato was. And then Kinemon is in another storeroom. Right, there are just too many storerooms going on right now. And he thinks, which side needs me more right now? This way or that way? This way. And he runs off, I'm hoping towards the Akazaya. Because Yamato and Shinobu can take care of themselves. to some degree. The scabbards are, like, basically dead, especially with Jack coming towards them. And with no full moon in the storeroom, there's no Sulong form. Anyway, we see Onigashima as it continues its journey to the flower capital. The Onigashima entrance, we see some explosions go off, and we see it's Perospero, who has been fighting Carrot and Wanda. A fight that we skipped, which is... Unless there's still more of it after this, but Carrot and Wanda look pretty defeated, which is, again, it's kind of bringing back the Onigashima Raid's worst habits. They've not really seen since 1000. But anyway, we do see that Perospero is kind of out of breath. Hehehe, Perodine. Oh, what a shame this is for you, Moonlight Warriors. Their potential victory should require the luck of the weather above. Oh, the smoke or something is, like, covering up the moon, and so their Sulong forms can't activate. Okay. And we see Carrot as she flashes back to what Pedro told her. Listen to me, Hyogoro. Keep moving onward. And Perospero, like, picks her up by her throat. Vengeance for Pedro? What did you think would happen? That you'd waltz into our home and set up a nice little picnic in the territory of the dreaded Big Mom pirates? Oh, he's calling her out for the whole cake arc. If you didn't want to see your friend die, and he throws her to the ground, then you should have stayed in the forest and nibbled at your grass, rabbit. That's where you belong, Perodine. And now, it galls me to have to work alongside the Beast Pirates. Just a reminder, I am using the Beast Pirates term and not Animal Kingdom Pirates, because I don't like that name very much. But it's time to show these children what the Emperors of the Sea are all about. And he kind of, like, twirls his cane as he approaches, I'm assuming Carrot still, but that might be Wanda. But either way, we then cut to inside the dome. Time to focus on something else. This is very much shaping up to be an overview chapter rather than a focus chapter. But either way, back where the Ice Onis were happening, and one of I think that's a Beast Pirates member. Ugh, I can't go on. These blue flames are burning up my physical stamina, and I'm almost at empty. Oh no, I think that is one of our guys. He's in a much more, like, traditional, like, samurai robe. But another samurai says, keep going just a bit longer, or you'll turn back into an Ice Oni. So it looks like there's a downside to what Marco has been doing. Because Marco is using his Phoenix Flames to sort of stop the Ice Oni spread. But it looks like that's not really a viable long-term solution. Anyway, once that happens, you'll rampage until your willpower runs out, and then you'll really die. Keep a firm hold on yourself. Hey, I mean you, and we see kind of starts to, like, wobble. That raccoon dog is dealing with the same effects as he mixes the cure. Right, because Chopper was also infected, and he's still fighting it. My good boy. I love Chopper so much. And then one of the Beast Pirates turns to Apu, who is still alive, who is still active, by the way. Apu, we can't last any longer. The antibodies are right there behind them. But we can't get past that impenetrable defensive wall. Why do we have to suffer Master Queen's own virus? And Apu just tells him, you know he's not the kind of boss who bestows mercy on crybabies. And then we see it's X-Drake and Hyogoro, who are kind of holding the line. Hyogoro looks to still be Onifying. But sir, we have to deal with X-Drake, who's betrayed us to join the enemy for some reason, and the sudden arrival of the legendary Yakuza boss of Wano, Hyogoro the Flower. They're too powerful. We can't get close to that raccoon dog. And yeah, we see there, you know, I love that panel of Drake and Hyogoro holding the line. It just looks really fucking cool. Though, as I recall, wasn't there a member of the Toby Robo here when Drake who Drake held off to, I think it was page 1, wasn't it? Was it page 1 here? Or am I just completely misremembering that? Because I thought Drake held off page 1 to kind of let Zoro run up to the roof. Or let Robin and Brooke get away, I mean. But maybe that was Apu? I don't quite remember. I could be misremembering something. And then all the Beast Pirates, why does he look like that? Hyogoro, by the way, is back in his large, giant form. He was just a tiny little geezer a minute ago. Somehow, he's reverted to the strength he had when Kaido was so relentless in trying to recruit him. Hyogoro shivers. Either, he says, are these shivers of excitement? But also, he's infected with the virus. So shivers could very much be ice-related. Someone calls out, "Boss, are you alright?" "Yeah, it's so cold, but I've always had a strong grip on my mind. It seems that accidentally coming into contact with that virus has extracted all the strength I have to the very limit of my life. It may be burning the last remnants of my body for fuel, but I'll use this strength to cut down all of their main force." So yeah, this, like I kind of implied, this might be the end for Hyogoro. Like I kind of thought when I saw the chapter title. And Hyogoro calls out, "Hear me out, Yakuza leaders." "Yes, boss? I don't think I have much time left. If that raccoon dog can't finish the medicine in time, and I begin to transform into an ice oni, I want you to put an end to me before I turn. If you don't, then I will go on to slay every last person here, friend or foe, including you." So yeah, we're seeing Hyogoro's sense of honor here. He knows what'll happen if he turns, and he knows the only way to stop that, if Chopper can't finish the cure in time, is for him to die. Because there's also a bit of a boast there. He's like, "I'm so powerful, I will kill you." Anyway, one of the other Yakuza leaders says, I don't know. And another one responds, "But he's right. If he turns into an ice oni, no one here can stop him." And Hyogoro kind of grins. "You must do this for me." And then another one, "Oh no, this is one of Kaido's men." "Oh, is that so? I think that the formerly Orochi's men. The Mimawari will take you on. Let's see this legend." And then Hyogoro readies, "Flower, one sword style." And then the Mimawari Gumi guy says, "I bet your style's just some relic of the past, you old coot." But Hyogoro barely even uses his sword. Flaming hair of holy rage! And, like, flames just shoot from his body there. Somehow that's a sword style, I guess. And Hyogoro flashes back to a conversation. Or no, he's like thinking back to what he would say to Odin. "Haha, let me tell you, Odin. There are times I think about what would have happened if I'd challenged Kaido with you, back at the peak of my strength. But just look at what your followers have done." And Hyogoro flashes to the Akazaya there, as he kind of just goes to town on Kaido's men. "They've pulled off this raid in your name, and I too have gained the most fascinating apprentice." And he flashes back to Luffy, back on what was the prison called? I can't remember. The mine. "I have no doubt that dawn will come to Wano." And Queen watches from above. I guess not really fighting Marco at the moment. "Hey, he's gonna wipe out the entire floor." And Queen ready some kind of laser beam that I guess he has? Oh, I remember now. When I was talking about X-Drake fighting someone, I think he was fighting Queen. Because I remember the two dinosaurs fighting, I think. And I thought that was page 1 for some reason, but I'm pretty sure it was Queen. Anyway, back to focusing. "The dawn will come to Wano. Hey, he's gonna wipe out the entire floor." And he readies this laser beam. "Not so fast, you!" And then someone calls out, "Look out! Here he comes, Master Queen's beam attack!" And as they all notice the beam about to happen, Marco shows up and attacks Queen with Phoenix Brand. Gwah! And the beam kind of like peters out. Grr. And then Queen turns to Marco. "Hey, that hurt. What was that, a shockwave?" And Marco tells him, "You were supposed to be fighting me, remember?" "Marco? You don't even get to think about those samurai until you finished me off." And so Queen shoots another beam at Marco this time. "Damn it! You just won't go down! Die already!" But Marco dodges, obviously. King readies an attack with his sword, and seemingly slices off one of Marco's wings. Though because his wings are just sort of, flames created by devil fruit powers, I'm pretty sure Marco can just put his wings back on. But Marco lands, and I'm trying to work out what he's doing here, because it looks like his flames are only coming from one side of his body, at the bottom right panel of page 16. But then he makes some new flames with his hands, and then I think creates a wing with them. And oh no, he like shoots a fireball at King. Blue Bird. And as he throws the fireball at King, I think he jumps off the banister that he was sitting on. Because King is hit with it, and then it hits some part of the building, and is like lying on the ground. And then Marco comes to him, his like knee raised. It wasn't really a wing thing. He sort of like rocket launched himself out, and just knees King. We see the impact like resonating outwards. And now we see Queen back at his normal form. I don't think he was really hit by that, but I think he's come to check up on King. And Queen says, "Stupid, cocky burn man." That might actually be referring to King. Though both Marco and King could technically possibly be insultingly referred to as birds. But just then, what looks like a talent comes for Queen, and Marco doesn't really have talents. I'm trying to get a look on King's feet to see if he has talents, but I think he has feet too. But Queen is shocked there. Oh no, it is Marco, who can materialize, who's materialized talons with his feet. Crane talents. And he's whacked Queen somewhere. I can't really see him on that panel. Gah. And Marco says to himself, holding off two guys worth over $1 billion at once is pretty rough. Better hurry, raccoon dog. And we see Chopper still working on the medicine. The two mink doctors are helping him out. And then Queen kind of rubs his head. All right, that's it. And King, I think, is conscious. I think he's still ready to go. And just then, Perospero sees him. Why, who should I spot over there but Marco? He looks rather exhausted to me, hehehe. Peronin. And he jumps up to join the battle, it looks like. And just then, I think that's Hyogoro rolling. Grah! Oh, because Marco must be worn out now, so his powers are kind of going away. Everyone's turning back into Ice Oni. Now we're in danger from both the virus and Oni. And yeah, we're seeing they're kind of fully transformed, and some Onis are attacking our guys, it looks like. And just then, the two Yakuza members from earlier approached Hyogoro with their swords drawn. And Hyogoro, as he's dying, as the virus is completing its spread, tells them, "Do it! I want it to end this way. I feel as though heaven has rewarded me with this final role to play. Any longer, and I would only put your lives in danger." And as he, from the look of it in that panel, might be fully turned there. Maybe even before they can kill him. But he says, "I leave the rest in your hands. Here ends the life of Hyogoro the Flower, with no regrets." Which is just exactly what I was predicting. Next chapter hits March 14th. Okay. This was a bit more of an overview chapter than I tend to like in my One Piece chapters, as I am, very well documented saying at this point. But for a overview chapter, it works pretty well, especially because of the last half very much becomes a focus chapter. But we do get two quick little scenes as Shinobu and Momonosuke are continuing their advance. Very slightly, nothing really happens beyond the Mary knowing where Momonosuke is. And then Sanji makes a decision that we don't really know about. And then we see some more of Perospero's fight or the aftermath of Perospero's fight with the Minks. Which, again, I wish we saw more of, because skipping fights is sort of the Onigashima Raid's greatest sin. But hopefully there will still be more to that segment than what we've seen so far. Hopefully there's still more for Carrot and Wanda to do beyond just kind of get beat up off screen. Because, again, that's been a really bad trend of this arc. Or at least this part of the arc. Which could be explained away with there are just so many characters that, you gotta cut something, but still. Anyway, the thing with Sanji, though, is that it's only a page, for one thing, and we also just don't know what happened in the end. I'm assuming he went for the Akazaya. because the Akazaya are unconscious and a headliner is coming to them. Meanwhile, Shinobu and Yamato are both conscious, both have various degrees of powers, of strength, and are fighting a bunch of mooks. And Jack is a much bigger threat than basically all the mooks in the Skull Dome. And then, yeah, we have Wanda and Carrot, and that sort of real cut short fight. I wish Carrot got to do something here. You know, Carrot and Wanda have a bigger gripe with Perospero than anyone else. And so if Perospero is dealt with by Marco, that just feels kind of cheap, I guess, or kind of like we're missing out on what we've earned. So even if Marco does play a major role in Perospero's final defeat, I hope Carrot and Wanda are at least conscious enough to, like, get the final blow or something, because they deserve it. And then we get into the real focus of the chapter, which is Hyogoro's final stand, along with a little bit of Marco. And yeah, it's... So before this arc, I would have said, Hyogoro will somehow come back. He won't be fully dead. Chopper will finish the cure right on time, just because, like, before this arc, there were maybe, I think, 5 characters in all of One Piece who died outside of flashbacks. It was just, I think, Ace, Whitebeard, Monet, Vergo, and Pedro. And this arc seems a lot more happy to kill people off, especially with Yasui. I'm trying to remember if there was anyone besides Yasui. It feels like there has been. It feels like this arc has been much more... Orochi, also. You know, it's not as shy on killing off main characters as One Piece normally is, so I think there's a good chance that he is dead. Here ends the life of Hyogoro the Flower with no regrets. I mean, we don't see the blades come down, so maybe they can't do it, and then Chopper has an added time limit to you know, curing the virus, maybe. Either way, Hyogoro has one grand action sequence, and it's one of those things I do really want to see animated. It'll look really cool, I bet. Yeah, we get a quick X-Drake moment, but this isn't really his chapter. X-Drake and Hyogoro have apparently been working together, holding the line here, but this is really Hyogoro's grand moment of heroism. Along with the Marco chapter, as Marco, you know, holds back King and Queen at the same time, pretty successfully. He admits that he cannot really, you know, hold back the Ice Oni virus while he does it, especially with Perospero joining the fray. But yeah, things are back to looking bad on the performance floor, as the Ice Onis are back in full force, and one of the Alliance's strongest defenders is dead. But at least he gets one hell of a send-off. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!